Hi guys, this is Rusty 78609 in Central Texas, USA, and I just returned from my local bank talking to one of the officers there related to forms of payment that are safe when selling a vehicle, RV, or whatever you're selling, whether it's on Craigslist or classified ads or however. You may have a for sale on the windshield and somebody decides they want to buy it and they say, okay, we'll give you a personal check, or we will give you a cashier's check drawn on our bank, or we will give you a postal money order, or we will give you a money order from some other source, or we'll give you cash. Okay, now we'll kind of take those in order. According to the bank person I talked to, if somebody gives you a personal check drawn on their bank, you take it to your bank and deposit it into your account, it takes from 3 to 7 days for that check to clear your bank and that money be available in your checking account. From 3 to 7 days. Now, during that 3 to 7 day period, if the individual decides they don't like your car or RV or boat or whatever you had for sale, they can actually stop payment on that check, and then you've got a bag of air. Okay, you didn't receive anything because that payment has been stopped. So that's not good. Okay, so that's one payment method that you really have to be careful about, and that's taking personal checks. The second one is, let's say that somebody says, okay, I'll go to the post office and get a money order or money orders for enough to pay for the vehicle, whatever it happens to be. And they come back with some what looks like postal money orders. They may or may not be. And you give them or you deposit them into your checking account, and turns out they are fraudulent or fake or whatever they might be. Maybe this guy printed them out over the internet and used some method to produce fraudulent money orders and gave them to you, and then you sign the back of the title and away they go. So they got you again. The third way that everybody talks about a lot is cashier's checks. In other words, that individual goes to their bank or a bank, hands the bank cash and gets a cashier's check, and then gives that to you. You take it to your bank and deposit it into your account. What happens? The same thing that happens with a personal check. A cashier's check is no better, well, slightly better than a personal check, because what can happen is it still takes 3 to 7 working days, business days, for that cashier's check to clear and that money be available in your checking account. During that period of time, the individual can stop payment on that cashier's check. They really can. Now, it's not as easy as stopping payment on a personal check, I'm told, but they still can. I don't know what the differences are, but the fact is they can, if they choose to, stop payment on a cashier's check, and that's a fact. Now, the next form of payment is something a lot of people talk about. Rusty, just have them wire transfer the money to your checking account. Well, that's kind of good, but here's the problem with that. Well, it's good in that the money is directly wired to your account. It is available, and the money is there within hours. Okay, so that's a done deal, except for one thing. To get the money wired to your checking account, you have to give this individual all of your banking information. That means your checking account number, the routing number, and everything needed to access your checking account so that they can deposit that wire transfer money into your checking account. So what does that enable these people to do? To use your checking account to go buy stuff over the internet, or places that they can do that. So there you'd really have to trust somebody to do the wire transfer directly to your account, because they would have your account number, they would have the routing number to your bank, and people can do a lot of things with that. Trust me on that. So if you really know the individual and they're trustworthy, like a family member or whatever, that's a good way to do it. It's easy peasy. And then that way, if you have a payoff on your vehicle or boat or whatever it happens to be, once that money's in the account, then you can do a wire transfer to the institution that has the lien on your vehicle, whatever it might be, pay it off, and then within 3 or 4 days, you will receive the title from that finance company, and you can sign it on the back and give it to the individual that purchased your vehicle, whatever it might have been. Okay? So, but in all of those payment methods, personal check, cashier's check, money orders, postal money orders, and wire transfers, there's a little whoopee, you know what I mean? You can get nailed, all right? And so the best way, and the banker agreed with me, I said, well, it appears then that now that we've eliminated all of the payment methods that may cause you some problems, the safest way to deal is just cash, right? He said, right, yeah, you get cash, and you have to be careful with that even, unfortunately, because if somebody comes to you, let's just say you're selling something for $10,000, okay? That means that somebody's going to have to come to you with $100 bills, okay? I think that's right. Let's see. 5, I don't know. Is that right? Let's see. 5, 10 to 1,000, yeah. $100, they'd have to come to you with $100 bills, or 500 $20 bills. Okay, that's a lot. Even though a 500 stack of $20 bills is only going to be like that, it's not much. But so you'd have to count them all out, be sure you got the right amount. That's one. And then number two, if it's $100 bills or even $20 bills, they could be phony as baloney. All right. So what you'd have to do to just really protect yourself, even though it's cash, is be sure you're doing business during a banking day, one, and then take those cute little $100 bills or whatever they happen to be to the bank and let them check them as they put them into your checking account. And then once that money is safely in your checking account, verified that it's not fraudulent, then that's it. You're done. You can sign the back of the title, or you can go ahead then and issue a wire transfer to your financing institution to get the title. And then once you get the title, you can sign it on the back and give it to the individual that buys the particular item. But what I have found, and of course, I have an RV for sale right now. It's a 2013 Jayco J-Flight 26BH, which means bunkhouse. It's got 2 bunk beds in the rear and a front queen, and it's also got a sofa that folds out into bed. You can look up the specs on it on Google. It's, again, do a Google search for a Jayco J-Flight 26BH 2013, and you can get all the specs. I mean, there's no sense asking me, because you can get everything you want. I'm asking $11,995 for it because I believe it's worth it. It's been towed less than 300 miles. It's always been kept under a cover, and it's in perfect condition. There's never been dogs in it or any pets of any kind. I don't smoke. I was the only individual living in it for 3.5 years. And the awning is perfect. The roof is perfect. There's never been a water leak of any kind. Everything works. It's got an awning that's about 20 feet, whatever it happens to be. And so you can check out the specs. But if it's something that you're interested in, you can email me at rusty78609@yahoo.com, and we can get together. You'll have to come to Kingsland because, again, I'm going to be taking cash, and I'm going to take it to the bank first, let them make the deposit, and then me will pay off the unit to USAA, the financial institution out of San Antonio, and USAA tells me it will take about 3 or 4 business days for them to expedite the title to me, which I will sign on the back and then either mail to you or hand to you, whatever you choose to do. So having said that, guys, whenever you're selling something, whatever it is, there are a lot of what I call street attorneys. In other words, people say, oh, you just need to get a money order, or oh, you just, hell, personal check's good as gold, or you can take, or they can wire it to your account. All that sounds great, but I just gave you the facts, okay? That's the way it really works in the banking world, okay? So having said that, from Central Texas, USA. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy US, buy anything you want, anytime you want. It's your money. And what else? Take deep breath, or drink plenty of water. Three or four quarts a day won't hurt you. It's good for you. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and it'll help you lose weight because you'll be full of water. What else? Take deep breaths. Breathe in deeply through your nose. Deeply. Hold it for a few seconds, then breathe out through your mouth. Why? Because that relieves stress, and relieving stress does what? Lowers your blood pressure, and that's good for you. Very good for you, actually. And then, stretch your arms and swing your arms and do all that stuff. Keep your body in motion. And if you're selling something, watch this video again before you do it, because, again, there's so many ways, and particularly Craigslist, there's so many scams. Let me tell you something else about getting cash. If you're going to get cash and it's a large amount, what I recommend you do is, once they've decided they're going to buy your vehicle or whatever it is, you might want to go to the police station and let them hand you the cash. All right? You understand? Because what can happen is they hand you the cash, you sign the back of the title, and next thing you know, you wake up in a coma at the hospital. Okay? Your title is gone, your vehicle's gone, and your cash is gone. Okay? So again, whenever you're receiving cash from anybody, be very careful. All right? Enough said about that. Enjoy your day. Adios. Bye-bye.